I know you're sitting there, feeling a quiet anxiety creeping into your heart every time you think about getting up from your favorite chair. I understand that feeling when you have to place both hands on your thighs to push your body up, when the stairs become frightening obstacles, when walking through the living room, where you once strode confidently, now requires you to hold on to surrounding objects to maintain balance. This isn't just ordinary fatigue, it's a warning bell your body is sending, a silent cry for help that only those who have experienced it can truly understand. Throughout my decades of practice in the United States, I've met thousands of people like you, wonderful individuals who have dedicated themselves to their families and communities, and now face a heartbreaking reality. The legs that once carried them through countless adventures and special moments are slowly betraying them. I've witnessed the bewildered look in women's eyes when they can't lift their beloved grandchildren, the disappointed gaze of men when they can't mow the lawn in the small garden they cherish, and the shared fear of all of them when they realize that the independence they treasure is gradually slipping away. But today, I want to share with you something I've discovered after years of research and practice. This is not an inevitable fate, not a necessary part of aging that we must accept. I will share with you 3 vitamins, 3 simple yet powerful nutrients that can become weapons against the weakening of your legs. These are not empty promises, but the results of serious scientific research and practical experience with thousands of patients. I've witnessed 75-year-olds regain the strength to walk 3 miles daily, 80-year-olds able to play with their grandchildren without fear of falling, and I don't want you to become one of those who miss this opportunity. Let me start with the first vitamin, a nutrient I call fuel for your legs. That's vitamin B1, also known as, if you've ever felt like your legs were made of lead, heavy and tired even when just walking from the bedroom to the kitchen, then your body is very likely deficient in this important nutrient. Thiamine works like a secret key, opening the door to energy metabolism in every muscle cell of your body. Without enough B1, your body is like a car running out of fuel wanting to move, but lacking the strength to do so. I remember a patient named Margaret Thompson, 68 years old from Ohio, who described her feelings to me like this. Doctor, I feel like someone has replaced my legs with heavy iron bars. Every step is a battle, and climbing just a few stairs leaves me gasping as if I've just run a marathon. After testing, we discovered that her blood B1 levels were very low. Just 5 days after supplementing with thiamine at the appropriate dosage, Margaret called me with excitement in her voice. I can climb to the second floor without needing to rest anymore? What's sad is that many people over 60 are experiencing B1 deficiency without knowing it. There are many reasons for this, and I want you to understand clearly so you can recognize whether you might be facing a similar problem. First is that our ability to absorb nutrients decreases significantly after age 60. The stomach no longer secretes enough acid to break down and absorb vitamins from food as it once did. Second, many medications that elderly people must use, especially diuretics to treat high blood pressure or heart problems, can cause your body to lose precious B1 through urine. Even a small glass of wine in the evening, which many consider harmless, can interfere with thiamine absorption. Science has clearly proven the importance of B1 for leg health. An important study conducted at the University of Tokyo in 2021 followed over 300 elderly people and found that more than 30% of them had low B1 levels. Notably, these people moved slower, had weaker leg strength, and frequently complained about muscle fatigue. After being supplemented with thiamine, they showed significant improvements in walking ability, stair climbing, and overall energy levels. How does thiamine work in your body? Imagine your body as a giant power plant, and each muscle cell is a small generator. B1 is the catalyst that allows these generators to work efficiently, converting glucose from food into ATP, which is the energy currency. Your muscles need to contract and relax. When B1 is deficient, this process is disrupted, and the result is that you feel weak, tired, and heavy. The B1 dosage I usually recommend for people over 60 is 50 to 100 milligrams per day, depending on the degree of deficiency and specific symptoms. This is a safe dosage because B1 is a water-soluble vitamin, meaning the body will automatically eliminate excess amounts through urine. The best time to take B1 is in the morning with breakfast, when it will provide energy for your entire day. I recommend combining it with a meal containing protein or healthy fats to increase absorption. Now let's move to the second vitamin, a nutrient I consider the connecting wire between your brain and legs. That's vitamin B12. If you've ever experienced numbness in your toes, or felt like your legs were asleep, even though you were still standing, that could be a sign of B12 deficiency. This vitamin is not only important for memory, as many people know, but also plays a crucial role in maintaining the connection between the nervous system and muscles, especially in the lower body. I want you to understand that B12 works as an interpreter between the brain and muscles. When you decide to take a step, your brain sends electrical signals down the spinal cord, then transmits through nerves to the leg muscles. B12 ensures that these signals are transmitted clearly and accurately. When B12 is deficient, this signal transmission becomes blurred and sluggish, like trying to hear someone speak through a telephone line with lots of static. Robert Chun, a 72-year-old man from California, shared with me, I feel like my legs no longer belong to me. I want to walk straight, but sometimes I sway to the left or right. I've fallen twice in 6 months, and each fall was a major shock, not just physically but mentally. After examination, we found his B12 levels were dangerously low. Just 3 weeks after supplementing with B12 in methylcobalamin form, Robert felt his legs become steady again, and more importantly, he regained confidence in moving around. The reason elderly people are prone to B12 deficiency is due to decreased absorption ability with age. Our stomach needs strong enough acid to separate B12 from protein in food. But after age 60, stomach acid production decreases significantly. Additionally, many elderly people must use acid reducing medications to treat reflux or stomach ulcers, which further exacerbates B12 absorption problems. An important study at Oxford University followed people 65 and older and found that those with low B12 levels walked slower, had poorer balance, and had twice the risk of falling compared to those with normal B12 levels. This isn't just dry statistics, but reflects a painful reality. B12 deficiency can be a major cause of serious falls in elderly people. B12 doesn't just affect mobility, but also impacts mood and memory. Many elderly people describe feeling brain fog, difficulty concentrating, or unexplained melancholy. These could be early signs of B12 deficiency. When the body is provided with enough B12, not only do the legs become steadier, but the mind also becomes clearer and more positive. The B12 dosage I usually recommend is 500 to 1000 mcg per day. In methylcobalamin form, this is the active form of B12 that the body can use immediately without conversion. The best time to take B12 is at noon, as it can enhance alertness, and if taken too late, may affect sleep. Avoid taking B12 with coffee or tea, as caffeine can interfere with absorption. Finally, I want to talk about the third vitamin, also the most important vitamin, D3, which I call the main switch to restart your whole body strength. If B1 is the fuel and B12 is the wiring system, then D3 is the main electrical switch of the entire system. Without D3, all other efforts become useless, like having a car with plenty of gas and a perfect electrical system but no key to start it. D3 is a powerful hormone, more than just a simple vitamin. It controls over 3,000 genes in your body, including those responsible for muscle strength, bone health, and even balance ability. When D3 levels in your blood drop, your body starts shutting down non-essential functions to conserve energy. And unfortunately, muscle strength is often one of the first things sacrificed. Dorothy Williams, 74 years old from Texas, told me, "I remember one morning, I was sitting in my favorite armchair reading the newspaper as usual, but when I wanted to get up to make coffee, I couldn't stand up by myself. I had to use both hands to push hard on the chair, and even had to call my daughter to help. That's when I realized something was very wrong." When tested, Dorothy's D3 level was only 80 ng per milliliter, while the minimum necessary level is 30 ng per milliliter. Just 1 week after supplementing with D3 at 2000 IU per day, Dorothy could stand up from her chair naturally, and after a month, she could walk around the neighborhood without support. The reason elderly people are prone to D3 deficiency is due to multiple combined factors. First, our skin becomes thinner and less efficient at synthesizing D3 from sunlight. Second, the liver and kidney stew, organs responsible for converting D3 into its active form, also function slower with age. Third, many elderly people spend less time outdoors or always cover up carefully when going outside to avoid UV rays. A study at the University of Birmingham proved that after just 5 days of supplementing with 800 IU of vitamin D3, the leg strength of participants over 65 increased by an average of 19%. Another study at the Harvard Center for Geriatric Research showed that elderly people with low D3 levels had a 40% higher risk of falling or hospitalization compared to those with normal D3 levels. How does D3 work in the body? It helps the intestines absorb calcium more efficiently, ensuring your bones remain strong. It stimulates the growth of new muscle fibers and improves the contractile ability of existing muscles. D3 also helps reduce inflammation in muscle tissue, making movements smoother and less painful. Most importantly, it improves the nervous system, helping you react faster and maintain better balance. The D3 dosage I recommend depends on your current condition. For healthy people, over 6,800 to 1,000 IU per day is appropriate. For those who already show signs of muscle weakness or have fallen before, I usually recommend 1,500 to 2,000 IU per day. D3 should be taken in the morning or noon with a meal containing healthy fats like eggs, salmon, or avocado, as this is a fat-soluble vitamin. The most important thing I want you to understand is that these 3 vitamins don't work independently, but cooperate like a professional team. B1 provides energy, B12 ensures nerve signals are transmitted accurately, and D3 activates the entire system. When properly combined, they create a synergistic power much greater than each one individually. Eleanor Davis, 69 years old from Florida, is a perfect example of the power of this combination. When she first came to see me, Eleanor had to use a walking frame to move, and felt exhausted after just a few steps. Tests showed she was deficient in all three vitamins. After starting a combined supplementation regimen B1 in the morning, B12 at noon, and D3 with a fat-rich breakfast, Alana had amazing changes. In the first week, she felt less tired. The second week, she could walk without the walking frame. And after a month, Eleanor could walk 30 minutes daily around the neighborhood, even starting to tend to the small garden she had abandoned long ago. I understand that starting a new supplementation regimen can make you feel anxious or confused. That's why I want to share with you a simple and easy-to-follow schedule. In the morning, with a breakfast containing healthy fats like eggs or avocado, take B1 and D3. At noon, about an hour after lunch, and at least 30 minutes away from coffee or tea, take B12. This ensures each vitamin is optimally absorbed and doesn't interfere with each other. I also want to emphasize the importance of persistence. Unlike pain relievers that can work immediately, vitamins need time to accumulate in the body and create meaningful changes. Some lucky people may feel a difference after a few days, but most people will see clear improvements after 2 to 4 weeks of regular use. Be patient with your body and trust in the natural recovery process. In terms of safety, all three vitamins are considered very safe when used at the right dosages. However, I want you to note some important things. If you're using blood thinners, consult your doctor before starting high-dose B12 supplementation. If you have kidney or liver problems, dosage adjustments may be necessary. And most importantly, never increase dosages on your own without medical supervision, as the principle of more is better doesn't apply to vitamins. I recommend you carefully monitor your feelings during the first few weeks. Keep notes on daily energy levels, walk-in ability, leg sensations, and sleep quality. This not only helps you see progress, but also provides useful information for your doctor if dosage adjustments are needed. I also want to remind you that getting enough of these three vitamins from regular food is very difficult, almost impossible for elderly people. To get enough B1, you need to eat cups of whole grain cereals every day. To get enough B12, you need to consume large amounts of meat, fish, or dairy products. And to get enough D3, you need to be in the sun for at least 30 minutes daily with most of your body. Exposed to light, this is not practical for many elderly people. This is why I believe supplementation in pill form is the most practical and effective approach. Choose products from reputable brands with clear active ingredient content and manufacturing dates. Avoid products with too many unnecessary additives or advertising with excessive promises. When I look back on my years of practice, perhaps nothing makes me happier than witnessing an elderly person regain confidence and independence in life. I've seen 75-year-old women able to play with their grandchildren in the park, 80-year-old men return to their gardening hobbies, and elderly couples able to walk together without worrying about falling. But I also want to be honest with you, that this recovery journey requires persistence and faith. There will be days when you may feel discouraged, when progress isn't clear, times when you wonder if you're doing the right thing. Remember that your body has undergone a weakening process for many months, even years, so recovery also needs corresponding time. Don't expect overnight miracles, but focus on small daily changes. I often tell my patients to listen to their bodies like they would listen to a close friend. If you feel unusual fatigue in the early days, that could be a sign your body is adjusting and adapting. If you feel more energetic, use that to exercise gently, a short walk around the house, or standing up and sitting down a few times each hour. I also want to emphasize that vitamin supplementation is only part of the overall picture. Balanced nutrition with adequate protein, healthy fats, and green vegetables will support the recovery process. Quality sleep, lasting 7 to 8 hours each night, is when the body repairs and regenerates muscle cells. And equally important, maintaining a positive spirit and social connections will promote healing from within. There's one thing I want you to remember deeply. Age is just a number, and your body has amazing recovery capabilities at any age. I've witnessed 85-year-olds significantly improve their leg strength after just a few months of persistence. I've seen people who once needed support to move now, able to take care of themselves completely. And I believe you can achieve the same if you give yourself this opportunity. Start today, from your very next meal. Go to the nearest pharmacy and find the 3 vitamins we've discussed. Read the labels carefully, choose quality products, and most importantly, commit to yourself that you'll persist for at least 3 months to see real changes. I want you to imagine the things you'll be able to do when your legs become strong again. Maybe it's climbing up to the attic to get old mementos you haven't dared to touch. Maybe it's taking a walk in the park with your spouse. Maybe it's holding your grandchildren without worrying about losing balance. Or simply the feeling of safety and confidence when moving around your own home. Those images aren't wishful dreams, but completely achievable goals. Your body is waiting to be supported, and these 3 vitamins are the key to opening the door to recovery. B1 will ignite the flame of energy in every muscle cell. B12 will reconnect the nerve fibers that have been interrupted. And D3 will activate the entire system, like turning on the main switch of a house. I understand that you may have tried many different approaches before without seeing results, and this makes you skeptical about any new solution. But allow me to tell you that nutritional science has advanced tremendously in recent years. We understand better how vitamins work at the cellular level, and more importantly, we know how to combine them for maximum effectiveness. The last thing I want to remind you is to share this journey with your loved ones. Tell your children, grandchildren, or friends about what you're doing. The support and encouragement from those around you will be a powerful source of motivation to help you persist. And who knows? Maybe your story will inspire others to start their own health recovery journey. The future of your legs, and indeed the quality of your life in the years to come, lies in your own hands. These 3 simple vitamins could be the difference between depending on others and maintaining independent autonomy. They could be the difference between living in fear and living with faith and hope. Begin this journey with gratitude toward your body, the body that has been with you through so many years and now needs to be cared for and nourished. Be patient with the recovery process, as the best changes in life often come from persistence and faith. And remember that every step you take today, no matter how small, is a step forward toward a stronger and more confident future. I believe in your ability to recover, believe in the inner strength that each of us possesses, and I hope that what I've shared today will be the starting point for a new chapter in your life. Chapter written with steady steps, confident movements, and joy in every moment lived fully. 1B1 tablet with breakfast, 1B12 tablet at noon, and 1D3 tablet with healthy fats. 3 simple steps, but they can change the entire trajectory of your remaining years. You deserve to have a strong and independent life, and I believe you can do it.